Hello, everybody. I'm Jordi Bailina. I'm the technical lead at Polygon Hermes. I'm one of those guys that's trying to put this technology, this blockchain technology, to mainstream. That's my main work at this point. So my presentation today, I'm going to start from the roots. I'm going to start from the beginning of the beginning. You know, it's like we are human beings. We are here in the earth. We're going to die at some point. We don't really know what we are doing here. But for years, we learned that the humans, we were working together. We were creating these communities, somehow to make our life better, at least while we are here in the earth. These communities has been very good for the society. If you see the history of society, well, it cannot be explained without these communities. And these communities requires governance. So when you have a community, you need to take decisions for the full community, and this is what we call governance. In the beginning, so these communities, they were based in this separation of, let's say, an elite and people, or the slaves somehow. Okay. In general, this governance, well, they work quite well if at the beginning. So somehow they had good intentions. This elite somehow tried to help the people, but all these central powers at the end, they will become with these power abuses. And we see that in the central powers in general. Okay? And this has been, in general, well, this has been this huge gap between, if you see, for example, how many people knew how to read or write just 1.5 centuries ago. The percentage is very low. But in the coming, so from more or less from the revolution, the industrial revolution, and from the last century, every time this percentage has been growing and has been increasing, until the point that in the current societies, the level of education, the level of culture of the majority of the people is quite high. And this has changed a lot. But if we see the governance systems that we have, they have not evolved that much. Have evolved a little bit. This evolution, so how can we use the knowledge of the community, of everybody, just to do a better governance? This is what we understand as a democracy. Okay? But why this democracy has not evolved? What happened in the democracy? Well, the biggest problem, and this doesn't work. I don't know, maybe you just, here it is. But, who designs the democracy? Who designs the system? Maybe in the democracy we know the rules to make new rules, but who designed the rules of making the rules to make these rules? So at the end, all the systems, we still require these central powers, these central entities, these trusted central entities on that. So even if we are evolved and we are trying to democratize, at the end we need these central authorities. And here is where the Web3 comes to rescue. Web3, that is this decentralized technology, what really allows, the value that's adding is that we don't require anymore these central authorities. We don't need to trust, we don't have the need to trust these central authorities anymore. Okay? And this is the historical event that we have since the creation of the Bitcoin. That at this point, the humanity know how to create societies, governance systems, without the need of a central power, without the need of trusting some central power. Here is mainly what enabling this new society without these central powers. This is mainly what we are doing in Polygon. Okay, this technology is still very new. It has only 10 years. It has a lot of technical problems still, but improving a lot. 10 years looks a lot maybe for a life of a person, but it's nothing for the history of the humanity. And the evolution that we have been doing for these last 10 years is huge. Okay? And Polygon, the mission of Polygon is very much to bring this technology to mainstream. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a list of applications that can be used for governance or for having a better society in this technology. But I want you to do the exercise to try to see in each of these use cases, what's the real value? So what's the central authority that's not required, that's substitute, and that actually can make the things, that can make the world, can make the better communities and better things. Have, of course, a self-sovereign identity. Who creates the identity for you? You can, with self-sovereign identity, you create your own identity. You don't need anybody for creating your identity. Public registries. You don't need notaries, registers, things to trust. Of course, we can use that, a blockchain for that. Voting systems. Who organizes voting systems? Here, I like to explain you two examples, two world examples. Is Venezuela a democratic country? Well, we don't know. Depends if you trust the voting authority of Venezuela. If you trust them, you are going to say, yes, Venezuela is a trusted democratic. But if you think that the voting system in Venezuela is broken, that this authority is corrupt, you're going to think the opposite. So having a system where you don't need, having a system where you can organize a voting system with the guarantee that nobody is going to break the system, this is really important. And this is because we don't need the central authority here. This technology can help a lot, for example, for the fake news, for fighting the fake news. Knowing the origin of the sources, there's a lot of things that can be done here. We can, with this technology, you can decide, for example, who has access to the information, who has access to the media. 10 years, or 20 years ago, there was maybe one public television and had only access, so only specific persons could talk there. Now with internet, this thing changes, but how you organize these rules, how you avoid monopolizing or having, or that you receive always the same content here. So here in blockchain, a lot of things can be done in this field. How you organize public tenders in a transparent way, in a fair way. Blockchain can help here too. How you manage scarce assets. Here we can talk about the land, we can talk about the radio frequency spectrum, we can talk about the water, we can talk about the food. How you distribute that in a fair way. One thing that's really important, how we can make the planet sustainable. The current system is doing a really bad job for that. Well, actually, it's not doing anything. With the blockchain, you can design the rules that are where you incentivize the people to just maintain the planet sustainable here. And a lot of the projects here are in that direction. And this is one example, for example, of application that's not only doing what we were doing before, just doing something that's even much better and something that's required and that's needed. Okay? Transparent accounting. Okay, right now, how we guarantee that we don't have corruption, that the funds don't leak somewhere to the other. Having transparent accounting is really important for a system. The assets tokenization, how you can tokenize the economy so that, for example, you can, here is where we have the DeFi on how you democratize the finance or how do you democratize the markets or the assets. So here is a lot of things that can be done, and this list is not complete, okay? But all these, so you see all these things that can be done, and imagine the world that we will have once we have all these systems in place without these centralized authorities. I imagine myself what's going to happen in 10 years with these systems in place. It's going to be a society where most of the people are going to be thinking in what's the best. The incentive would be in doing what's the best for the society, what's the best for your community, not doing what I have to do just to reach to the end of the month. That's currently the system that we have right now. It's a system where I do not just go to a voting, so I do not only decide about the community once every 4 years. It's a community where I decide every day what I should do or how can I do better for the society. Sometimes maybe I will decide to delegate my power to somebody else. But I will have, the people in the communities will have the responsibility of making the usage of their power, of making the usage of their governance in the most efficient way. A system where the incentives are well aligned, where the incentives are for doing the communities a better place to live. For me, this system is I call it liquid democracy. But I just want to put you in your mind that the things that can be done. And this is a world that we are building, that we are constructing. And here it's up to you to join this revolution just to make the world a better place. Thank you very much.